Greetings, citizens of the internet. I'm Static Buzz, and in this video we're going to be playing some Planet Coaster, and more specifically I'm going to show you guys terraforming, or playing with dirt, or messing up the terrain, or whatever you want to call it. So we're going to mess around with the terrain tool in this one, and yeah, so right now we'll get started with the basics. If you look over on the right over here, you got a terrain tab. You've got your basic pool, which is raise. You have intensity and size. Size is pretty self-explanatory. The larger it is, the larger you pull. Intensity is not so easy to explain, but if we think about it as a speed thing, the lower the intensity, the slower the pull. The higher the intensity, the quicker the pull. It's a little easier to understand. So think of intensity as speed at which things happen. Alright, so that's the pull feature. You can do some pretty weird stuff with it if you pull from the side. You can create all kinds of weird shapes, almost like a hand here with 3 fingers until I ruined it. Control Z will get rid of any things that you've done that yeah. Anyways, so kind of like a 3-fingered hand or something, but you get the idea that you can kind of do those kind of things with pull. The next thing is a push, which is the exact opposite. It pushes things down, but it'll go as far as you let it. Don't know if there's a bottom here or not. Let's go ahead and undo all that. Don't need that. So you get the idea what that does, and again, if you do it on the side, you can kind of do some stuff with it like that. And now I've got a little passageway through here that's kind of interesting. Alright, now flatten to foundation. This one I have not really figured out what it is yet. See, if I hold it here, it kind of flattens it out. If I hold it here, it does the same thing. I don't really know what it means by foundation, so that's one you're just going to have to play with and try to figure it out, because I really don't know. Now, I'm going to do this flatten the surface last because I'm going to use it to flatten this whole area out. Chisel. Similar to push, but I guess it's different. I don't really know. It doesn't really go all the way through. It seems to be a little slower even though the intensity is fully up. So yeah, I don't understand the difference between chisel and push, but I guess you can make holes and it doesn't go all the way through. I don't know. So yeah, as you saw there, on each one of these there's a more tab, and well, not each, but where did that go? There was a more tab. And smooth. Smooth, you can kind of get, you know, it just kind of smooths out the edges so that it's not so rigid. So you guys know what that is. You've used this kind of stuff before. So anyways, what I'm going to show you last is flatten. And where did the... Alright, let's click out, go back. There it is. Do not know where the more tab went on these. It's weird. It was there. It's there. It's there for all of them. But anyways, still early alpha. You know how it goes. Alright, so the flatten the surface. If I went here and went flatten the surface, let me get a better angle, say down here, it's going to flatten everything that it's touching to that surface. And you see that one was kind of an angle, so it flattened it to an angle. Now you also notice that it didn't, you get there without too much trouble hopefully, it didn't go over the path. So keep that in mind. I'm going to go over that a little bit later. So what I usually like to do is I usually pick a spot like here, and then I'll flatten it out from here, and then I'll do the whole area to that same height. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Well, actually, I have a saved game with everything flattened out all the way around this whole area, so I'm going to load that up with the magic of editing, and we will reconvene there. Alright, so here we are with my flat, nearly mostly flat. I'm sure there's some areas that I need to clean up under trees or whatever area, and pardon me, needed a drink there. And as you can see, it squares off the edges. Right now they don't have it's multi-selection. They don't have the ability to grow from here. If you look at the map, it looks like you will be able to, but for now we only get this one little square box, which is plenty big for now. So you notice there's a few things. If you look in close, trees are off the ground. Rocks are off the ground. Some trees are in the ground, right? And then we also have this overhang here, and this is the second time I've gotten one of these, and when I was trying to flatten out the area, and I wanted to show you how to get rid of it because it took me a moment to figure it out. We're gonna go back and use the push tool, and we're just gonna push along the edges until it goes away. And then we're gonna have to go back to the flatten and select an area away from it, and then flatten it out, and then there we are. Alright, so now we know how to do pretty much all the tools when it comes to manipulating the height. The next thing we have is painting, and I haven't messed with this too much. Select that one. Select black. Alright, there we go. So yeah, it's just like you would imagine. It's just painting stuff black. It's interesting because it actually goes off of the edge, which I did not expect. Oh, rocks look kind of cool. Some sand, some grass, and this one looks like it's a auto generator of paint depending on where it's at on the terrain. So as you noticed, against the wall it took away that green and put in what looks like a mountain. So along with the sculpting, this also has size and intensity, and you guys get what that is now. Water, not in the game yet. I am waiting for that. That'll be very, very cool. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start deleting these trees. Now I've already got a save game with all that as well, so through the magic of editing I'm going to head right there right now. So I'll see you in a moment. Alright, we're back, and we now have a pretty flat area, square box with no trees, no rocks, so we can start fresh. I'm going to go ahead and delete this, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a path, and I'm going to put a couple of things down so I can show you how terrain works around those things. So I've already done that as well, so let me go ahead and do the magic of editing. Be right back. Alright, once again we're back. You can see I just made some basic paths, no big deal. And I have, I forget what this thing's called, the radius. It's kind of like a Ferris wheel, but more of a modern Ferris wheel. And I have some shops. So what we're going to do is we're going to start on some shops, and I'm going to show you some basic things you can do, and you can let your imagination run wild after I've shown you these, and show your own personality instead of relying on mine, because my creativity in these type of things is not that great. So as you see, putting this up, it goes around the mountain, or I'm sorry, around the buildings. So the buildings themselves aren't affected by whatever you do. So you can actually do some pretty nice things. You can make some. My intensity is really high and my size is really high, so we're gonna take that down some. And we're gonna push this down a little bit. I don't need it that high. Alright, but anyways, so you see that it's not messing with. Oh, I need to flatten that. I don't want that. Go here. Alright, you can do some pretty cool things with putting things inside of the mountain. And I'm gonna go ahead and decorate this and show you some things, and I'll be right back. I don't want to make you wait through all that, but you can kind of get the gist of it. You can do some pretty cool things. It doesn't go over paths. I'll go ahead and show you that as well before I mess with that. Let's turn the intensity up. We got the size down. So we can go here. We can go up here, and we can go on the side, and then we can pretty much connect them. And the cool thing there is it makes a walkway. I think that's pretty cool. And I mean, you can extend it by just holding on the side, and you know, you can do all kinds of things with this tool. It's very, very nice. So anyways, I'm going to clean this up. I'm going to edit this and show you some of the things you can do, make it look pretty, and then we'll be right back and we'll start working on the radius. Alright, so I did a little, I didn't want to do too much, but I kind of wanted to show you that, you know, if you decorate it on top, you can, once you've got this, I don't even know what you want to call it, awning, overhang, and then you got this in the mountain, you can put your signs up on the mountain. It's pretty cool, I think, and it provides shade. You will notice that the lights are not lit up. I've actually got lights, 3 lights going across, and they're not lit up because it's not nighttime. So that is one of the things that does kind of bug me. I think that they should have the lights on because it's in the shade, but like I said, early access, maybe that's something they'll fix. Hopefully they'll watch my video and be like, oh, he makes a good point, and they'll fix it. Threw some rocks in here just for some decoration, blah blah blah. You get the idea. You know, you just make it kind of look natural, and or not. You can do whatever you want and have some fun with it. So now let's see what happens when we do some terraforming by a ride. And you more than likely wouldn't do this type of thing that I'm going to do here with this kind of ride, but you never know. You could. You might. I think you'd more want to do it with a roller coaster than anything, but you see, like, we can go here. I think you guys kind of got the idea what I'm probably going to do here. Go up here. Another one here. And the great thing is the path will not be affected. They will always be a nice little path for people to walk on. So it's kind of cool. So you can connect it that way. The other thing you can do is I'm going to increase the size, and I'm just going to go crazy on the side over here. Just tell it to keep coming up, up, and up. And you can kind of see that it forms around the ride. It does not interfere with the ride at all. It will work its way around the ride. So I'm going to go ahead and mess around with this a little bit more, and then I'll show you the end result. Probably won't be anything spectacular, but it will give you an idea of what you can do. So let me do that, and I'll be right back. Alright, so what I did is I pretty much encased it, and then I drilled some holes through so that it would have some visible things out. I put some smoke and fire on both sides, but you can see how easily you can make a, say, a skull or something and have a roller coaster coming out of the eye and into another eye, or whatever you wanted to do. And the other thing is you will see that the entrance and the exit are not affected. I can go all the way through this queue if I don't zoom out because I go through the wall, and then I'm inside, and there's the inside. And even, you know, you can see that the whole ride is not affected by any of the terrain. So there's some of the cool things you can do. I'm sure you guys will let your imagination run wild. You know, I was thinking about some ideas of roller coasters and whatnot doing this. So yeah, maybe I should show a roller coaster. I think I'll do that in another episode. Right now, I think you guys get the idea. And I mean, if you didn't like the color of this per se, you could give it any color you like, and give it, I don't know, that kind of makes it look like it belongs under the sea. Reminds me of SpongeBob SquarePants for some reason. Anyhow, you guys get the idea, the things you can do with terrain. It's really, really cool. I'm sure there's going to be plenty of people with more imagination and creativity than me that come up with some better ideas, but I kind of wanted to have a terrain video so you guys would know how that all works. My next video is going to be a early game tips kind of video, so look out for that one. I'm going to go ahead and end this one, so as usual, show your support by clicking like and subscribe. Until next video, take care, bye bye now, Static Buzz out.